What's up, guys? Welcome to the FOMO Factory. Today I would like to talk on how to survive the crypto bear market, because a lot of people already got bored out of the market, or they panic sold at the wrong time and now they're completely out of the market, and you'll know that they FOMO back in when it's kind of too late. So I want to take a look at a couple of things, what we can expect. When is the next bull run going to start? How long can this bear market take? How low can we go? And we got the Wall Street cheat sheet, of course, which is a very important piece of art, basically. And there we can expect a couple of things. So like the video, also just subscribe to the channel, would help me a lot. You would help yourself a lot as well. We are going to 1,000 subscribers, going with an amazing speed, so I'm very thankful for that, for all your support. And now let's take a look at Bitcoin, and this is the first chart that I want to show you, because I want to put some things in perspective. To know how to survive a bear market, you first want to know where we might be heading, right? So before we're going to talk about the current situation and what I think is best, and a couple of things we definitely need to pay attention to, I would like to take a look at the larger time frame. And again, my videos are not that time sensitive. The videos of last week are just as important as the videos of today. So, you know, it's not for overnight investing or trading. This is really long-term investing to make 20, 30, 50, 100x's from this bottom till the next top, right? Because that's what happens. Now, I would like to take a look first at this chart right here. This is the Bitcoin monthly chart that takes it back to 2010. So this is the oldest chart there is, right? As you can see, the stochastic RSI has been in this oversold territory twice. And every time we were there, it was a great moment to buy. Can't argue about that. This was a really nice Bart Simpson, by the way. But every time we were there, we had to buy, right? I mean, it was 2014, 2015. Once we were there, the Bitcoin price was, you know, hovering around $200, $300, something like that, when it was completely oversold. Later, when we got overbought, we were at $20,000. That's insane, right? Same here. We were very oversold, and that's especially in this area right here, where it was around $3,300 was the bottom of the last cycle, right? And then we went all the way up to, well, give or take 70K. So you know the big jumps that Bitcoin does, and there's no reason that Bitcoin will suddenly not see a new all-time high in the next bull run. Bitcoin always made a new all-time high in the next bull run, because, you know, there are supply shock, and more people stepping into it, more people believing in it, so less people actually selling it as well. So yeah, there's no reason for me to believe that, you know, 70K was the all-time high ever and that Bitcoin will never go back. That's just nonsense, doesn't make sense at all, right? So if you also believe that, then this is a really great buying opportunity right now. And let me see. First, real quick, have to... Nah, never mind. Sorry for that. Okay, so Bitcoin will reach new all-time highs. And what you see right here is that I measured all these cycles from the bottom of the cycle to the top of the next cycle, right? And the average move that Bitcoin did was 60x from the bottom to the top of the next cycle. So will we see the average now? Could be, right? I mean, it's an average, so the chances are pretty likely, right? Could be less, could be more. But if we take the average, that's incredible. Because if we do a 60x from our current 20K, right? That's insane. That's $1.2 million. Well, I think a lot of people feel like, nah, that's not going to happen. While the statistics say it will, right? So, but yeah, it sounds for some reason very optimistic. Sounds the same as when Bitcoin was $200. Someone said it will go to $20,000. That was 100x. That was even more unbelievable. It happened, you know, multiple times. Did 100x here as well, right? So it's not that unthinkable, right? But it might be that the bottom is not the bottom, right? We have seen the bottom for now, 17,700, give or take. It could be that we go lower. I personally don't think so, but there is a good chance that we will. Only time can tell, you know. Half of the indicators and on-chain data and charts and all that show us that the bottom is in, and the other half shows us that the bottom might not be in. All we know is we don't know anything. All we know as well is that we are probably at least very near the bottom, okay? So if 17K is in the bottom, then maybe 15K is, you know? But I'm not here going to preach about 3K or 5K or less than 10K Bitcoin or whatever. That doesn't make sense, right? So let's say worst case scenario that 10K is the bottom. Okay, cool. Then if it does a 60x, then still $600,000 for Bitcoin. All right, let's say 10K is the bottom and we do half of the average, right? This is a very bearish scenario. In that case, Bitcoin will reach $300,000 in the next cycle, right? So that's a really bearish scenario, and still 300K. Sounds like crazy, but you know, it would be the worst cycle that Bitcoin will ever been in so far, if that happens, right? So I don't think we will have much to complain in a couple of years. Right, so when it comes to that, we know that Bitcoin will be worth a lot, even if it will go back to its all-time high, and of course it will, right? When it might happen, we're going to talk about that in a little while. But first, I would like to show you this. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet. And the Wall Street cheat sheet, I think we all know it. And this is the Dutch version, by the way. I don't want a Dutch version. That's not making sense. So let me... Wall Street cheat sheet. Let me pull up the English version for you guys. So that should be this one. All right. Here we go. All right, so this is the Wall Street cheat sheet. And the Wall Street cheat sheet is, of course, this is not the exact move that Bitcoin is going to make. That doesn't happen. But it's kind of similar, right? This, and let me see if I can pull it up next to it, because it's pretty incredible on how accurate it actually is, right? And it's been that accurate in every cycle so far. That's the most exciting thing for me, right? So this is kind of where I think we are. And I don't think that we are here or we are there. I think that's all based on an opinion, because we go down here. And on the chart we go down as well, but yeah, when do we stop, right? I don't know, but I think I know the answer. I think I have my opinion ready. Let me put it like that. So we had the disbelief stage. You know, that's where we start to rally a little bit. So that was obviously here, right? We went up a little bit. That was here. Then we have the hope stage. I think that was here, right? Now the optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria was completely this run right here. Now, this cycle was a little different because we kind of had a double top, give or take. But let's say that's euphoria and complacency, all right? Then, and this was higher than this run. I don't, therefore, this, of course, this is never accurate. But what's really clear is that we are in a straight downfall, right, from November. This is also a straight downfall, all right? So where are we? Exactly. Well, we go down, we go a little sideways, maybe a little up before we go down again, right? So we go down, we go a little sideways up before we go down again. Well, we have seen some small relief rallies, just the same as this right here, for example, but also the same as this right here. And I think we are somewhere. Let me put it like really accurate so I don't fuck it up what I'm going to say right here. Because we are in a clear downfall, but it looks like we are stabilizing for a while now. But it was the case here as well, right? However, there's a lot of more data that shows that this is different than this, of course. I think we are here, somewhere around anger. Although, and let me say this correctly, November 2020, November 21. So if that's a year, and this is a year, then yeah, it makes sense. All right. Because I think we are somewhere around here. And this is sideways, right? And yeah, we see a lower low here. Could happen, could not happen. Like I said, it's, you know, it could go up and little down, so that's also sideways, right? But I think we are at anger slash depression at the moment. That's what I think. So if that's the case, and it makes sense. A lot of people are kind of furious right now, like, who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? But I also feel like we had a lot of anger already. And I feel like a lot of people are getting bored. They start to give up because we are stuck in this area for quite a while already. And the depression, like, oh, my retirement money is lost. How can we ever pay for this new stuff? I'm an idiot, and blah, 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 and let's give up. Fuck this. And I don't know. I don't want this anymore. And I also feel like we are kind of there already. So somewhere in between maybe, right? And this rally up could happen. So that's what I think might be the case. And then after this rally here, this belief, that's where this is. And then we, of course, start a new bull run, slow but steady. Now, I also think that, and then I have to pull up the right chart for that. Let me check if I have it here. I also think that the rally won't take that long, to be really honest. And sorry for this fucking around right here. I really have to pull up the best chart. Yeah, here we go. So these blue vertical lines are the Bitcoin halvings, right? So what I noticed is that if we look at the halvings of the previous cycles, right? We had the bear market, looks the same as now, right? These are all the same fucking cycles, so it doesn't really matter. So we came down with the pi cycle bottom indicator. Now, we had that 2 months ago, something like that. So that was in January, so somewhere March, April. We should be somewhere around here, right? And before the Bitcoin halving happens, because after the Bitcoin halving, we have a great pump, right? But before the Bitcoin halving happens, we already see a pretty decent rally, right? Before it happens. So, good reason to subscribe to the channel, because I want to update you a lot about that. So, I expect, and that usually happens a year before the rally happens, before the halving happens, right? It was the same here. We had the halving right here, so we were down. And this was really, 2017 was really fucked up because we first went down a lot. And then it was a slow bleed. Everybody was like, oh, let's hold on. And then here, another 50% dump. Like, that's what really killed people, I think. But then, we got the halving here. And even before the halving, we went from $3,000 all the way to like $14,000, right? And then the bear pump happened. Now, it's kind of the same, right? If we look at that, we go down. I expect some sideways movement for now. Could go up, could go down, you know, a couple of percentages, like maybe 20, 30%. But then, give or take a year before the halving, I expect us to have a slow, you know, climb up again, right? So that's my opinion. And after having, you know, so far we know what happens. We can base future price movements on historical price movements, but it's a pretty, you know, decent indicator if you combine it with other indicators as well. So yeah, that's what I kind of expect. And the question, like I made this video, how to survive the bear market. Well, if you want to survive the bear market, you have to understand this stuff. Because if you do not understand where Bitcoin is going, and nobody knows where it's going, but if you don't understand Bitcoin and therefore know where it's probably going, then you don't know how to survive this, right? I can say pretty simple and clear. If I pull up a cleaner chart right here, I can show you this. Here we go, clean chart. So I can show you this. Look, this is where we came down, and give or take, you know. So this is where we got rejected. This is the big trend line that's all about, right? Where we got rejected, we never went above this trend line. We are kind of approaching it, right? Also, given the fact that we are sitting at kind of crucial support right now, which is, yeah, whatever, give or take around this level right here, you know, $19,000, something like that. So when we hover a little bit on this support right here, and we stay above the support, then it will be, you know, yeah, like I just showed you in another video as well, within now and not very long from now, like in a month, should be crunch time for Bitcoin, in my opinion. Yeah, there are two scenarios. Either we break to the upside, which is very interesting, and we have to see by then how it all looks, or we break to the downside. And then, yeah, it's getting pretty interesting as well, because then there's not much support, you know, that 17.6K maybe, but then that's it. And then we could see, you know, Bitcoin, a lot of people talk about 10K. I don't, you know, that 16K level is big. So I don't see that happen very quick, but we can come down pretty drastically. So, you know, that's when, you know, this is not necessary. I said it before, but it's not necessarily when a new bull run starts. But I think this is a clear, you know, sign that we broke the bear market structure, at least, right? Another thing that I really would like to show you again is this. Oh yeah, this is pretty urgent, to be honest, because if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, this is not good. This is not good, guys. If you are an alt, then you might want to consider not being an alt, because I showed you this before, but I just want to remind you, the Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 39.7%. 39.0706 now, right? This is the lowest point that we have been in since February 2018. So that's 4.5 years, right? The Bitcoin dominance was never that low in 4.5 years. What does that mean? It looks like, or this must be fake out on the weekly chart, but still then we have to climb up very quickly. Or, you know, we break this to the downside and something is really going to change for Bitcoin and altcoins. And it means really that people are finally putting much more money in altcoins than in Bitcoin. And in that case, it could be good for altcoin holders. But in my opinion, it's going to do something like this again, right? And in the meantime, it might find this line here as resistance, and it always depends on how you draw the line, of course, exactly, because I can also draw it like this, which might be more accurate, right? But I can also draw it here. It's also kind of accurate, so it depends, you know. But I think at you know, at a certain point, somewhere this month, in my opinion, it will do something like this, and it doesn't go all the way back there in 1 month, I think, but it will go back up. That's not good news for altcoins. So yeah, I expect altcoins to go down a lot. And someone asked in the comments, I can pull that up. It was in this video, I think. Someone asked, if we have another rally before we drop, are you going to take profits and put it on the sidelines waiting for lower prices? Yeah, so let's go to an altcoin that reflects maybe some altcoins. Let's go to Matic, I don't know. So let's say this is, well, no, this is bullshit, by the way. Let's go to the altcoin market. So let's go to the total 3, which is only altcoins. Also no Ethereum, just other altcoins, right? So let's say something happens. So he says, if we get a small rally before we drop, all right? So I expect this drop. If we are already sold a bunch, if we, for some reason, which I don't expect, get an altcoin rally, then I will sell some altcoins, yes, definitely, definitely. Because I don't expect this to stay up very long. If it first goes down, like I expect personally, and it might go down to at least, you know, here, you know, 315 billion, but I think it will be way, like, I think it will be more like around here, 200 billion, to be honest. If that happens, then I'm gonna buy a fuckload of altcoins. And once we are back here, I probably sell my at least my investment. I have to see by then, because this will be a big resistance level. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. But I'm never gonna sell it all. I'm never gonna buy everything as well, because it could always happen that something like this will happen. This or this, right? In the meantime, I would like to trade that as good as possible. You know, the bigger price movements, not the 10% trade, but, you know, if an altcoin goes down 50%, yeah, then, and it's a good altcoin, then I want to be able to buy it. But in case something very weird happens in the crypto market, which is quite common for the crypto market to do, I want to be prepared for both scenarios. So to answer the question very quickly, again, on how to survive the crypto bear market. Where's that fucking chart? To survive the crypto bear market, like I said, you first have to understand the long-term potential that Bitcoin and crypto has, right? If you now know this, then you shouldn't be afraid to step into it while it's super low. Let's say, like I said at the beginning of the video, one of the worst case scenarios for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is at least $200,000, but it could be around 300,000 easily as well, right? So let's say this is an area where Bitcoin is heading. If we zoom out, then you look at it, right? And you feel, fuck off. Then you look at it and feel like, man, if it is going here, is it a little stupid not to buy here? At least dollar cost average. Yeah, I don't know. If you are fully in cash right now, I think that's completely stupid. If you're fully in crypto as well, you never, I will never be all in or all out, by the way, never, don't matter how the market is looking like. But especially now, when the market came down that much, if you still decide not to be a little bit exposed to crypto, yeah, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Look, these are the people that you know, there are a lot of people that this wave down, great. And now they say like, yeah, but you know, I want to buy here at 10K. That were the same people that were in crypto right here and say like, yeah, no, I'm not going to sell. I want to sell at 100K. Like, but why? It's who says that's going to happen, right? Right. That's kind of it. I don't know what to say anymore. Sorry for the long ass video, or for the you know, whatever. But that's kind of my expectation on how to survive the bear market. You have to understand it, and also, you know, like I said, be in good quality altcoins. And if you want to know the best quality altcoins, seriously, dude, girl, subscribe to the channel, because I try to give you these altcoin calls, my portfolio holdings, all that kind of stuff every single day. So it's maybe a very good place to be here. So I would say thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I really love your support. Like the video if you like the video. Leave a comment with your opinion on the crypto market at the moment. Are you in? Are you out? How many percentage of your money is in cash right now? I'm very curious. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.